Welcome to PCGamer Radio. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy. We're almost 24 hours away from Citcon Direct. Well, actually, it's 24 plus 12 is here, 36. I had to make a video. Just for rambling's sake, maybe. I've been watching so many predictions on Citcon, and they're all off their head. Because they don't actually listen to what it's going to be about. The words from Jared. Jared said explicitly, don't get too ahead of this. It's going to be about what we plan on working on in the next 12 months, not on what you will be getting in the next 12 months. And there's so many predictions saying, oh, engineering. They've been working on engineering on the roadmap for 3 years. It's now gone to upstream teams to finish off what they were doing. Engineering is going to tech preview, they hope, before the end of the year. Why would we need to know more on that when it's going to come out that way? It's beyond me. They're not working on it in next year. For them, they can't work on it until they have iterated or got feedback from it. So maybe, yes, they plan on working on it, but do they really need to spend so much time on it? It'd be a whisker if anything. For me, the stuff they're working on next year is stuff they haven't worked on this year. It's going to be new stuff. That's why my prediction, I still think, is the best prediction out of everybody, because I've specifically chosen things that haven't been at other sitcoms, and everyone's picking stuff from other sitcoms what they hope would be in here. Oh, they're going to show off the new inventory system. They've been working on the new inventory system all this year. Like, just pick everything from Sitcon last year. They've already been working on it this year. So what they're trying to do is just trying to get you into the mode of letting you know what they will be working on. And in my prediction, I've said it would be transporting, and it would be transport ships coming to the game. They're going to be working on finishing Nix. I don't think that we're going to get Nix. I think they are just going to show us the plans to finish Nix. They might even show plans of how they're going to be also working on Castra at the same time. So really, if you think about a realist, if they're only going to show us what they are planning on working on, are they really going to show us what they've been doing? They might show us what they've been doing if it's going to continue into next year, but you know, that's a brief thing. I 100% do think we're going to see a live playthrough. When I say live playthrough, recorded live gameplay, were my prediction still holds, where they're going to take us on a transport ship and show us a transport mission and take us to a place, blah blah blah. You'll find that what I said into my prediction still holding true. We're not going to see anything of Squadron, that's for certain. We are not going to see anything that we believe could be. We are going to get surprises, that's what Citcon is all about. They've said they're not going to talk about 1.0. This year we've had loads of missions, which is essentially location stories. But they've not called them but of course they are, aren't they? Waiting on Mission 2.0 to come out, though, to finish off location story type missions, and of course the main storyline to the game and the storyline behind the guilds of the game. So if makes sense for me that if Mission 2.0 comes in, then next year they are 100% going to be building on all of that. Location stories for all the planets. Storyline. Guild missions, all that is going to be next year. It is going to be the year of the theme park building. And of course, what I believe is going to be when it comes to stuff that we're getting next year, it will be the year of the NPC stories coming in. You'll find that into my prediction. But today I'm more focused on what they'll be working on. And I do think it is that. But of course, if you're like me anyway, coming up to the hours dripping down towards Citcon, you're kind of ready to consume any data that's coming in, and there's lots of videos popping out there. Rumours about Nyx. I do think Nyx is going to be on a playthrough, but it'll be more about this is a playthrough of what to expect in the next 12 months, because they're still working on things with Nyx that haven't been finished yet. And Nyx is going to be more of a system than what you think it's going to be. It's going to have more depth than just 3 planets. There's going to be space stations and stuff like that, probably. It's not just going to be something that they can do quick. I don't think CIG they never do anything quick. They always take the long route, don't they? The hard route, the best route, and all that good stuff. So yeah, when you see any predictions out there and they're telling you stuff that you already know has been on the roadmap, it's been on the monthly whatnot, you know, the monthly reports, that's stuff they've worked on in 2025. It's not stuff they're working on in 2026, so therefore are we going to see it at Citcon? No, we're not. So if you get all of the things they're predicting, if they're predicting stuff that's already been worked on, and you take it out of the Citcon Direct, then you do realise why it has gone to roughly 2 hours. And not a lot of people are even looking at this. Specifically, roughly 2 hour show. This could mean under, it could mean over. I think it's going to go over. But, yeah, so essentially, a 2 hour window showing you what they're working on in over the next 12 months. 2 hours is plenty, isn't it? Live playthrough session could be 40 minutes, 45 minutes, even an hour. And then an hour talking on the stuff that they're planning on doing. And even if they're telling us on what they plan they're doing, they can't show us stuff. They can maybe show us concept stuff of where they're wanting to go and updating us on how that approach is going. So the design document for what they're going to do in 2026, that's where it's going. So this is more of a summary of all things. If you've not seen my prediction for Citcon, do check that video out. I've got like more things that I predict that are coming down, which I still think is true. But here I just wanted to kind of just say that most videos out there on predictions are talking about stuff that's ridiculous, because they've already said it's only stuff they're going to be working on, not the stuff that they have worked on. Interesting that they're not saying we're not going to be talking about 1.0. Maybe they believe the 1.0, 1.0, 1. Whatever you want to call it, is already on the roadmap and we're leaving it there. We're just not going to talk about it. But you know, when they talk about the main storyline, you know that's 1.0 stuff. But they're not probably going to tell you it's 1.0. We're just working on the storyline, blah blah. And it's funny because when people say the one thing that I'd really like to see at this game, you know, one thing that I really want to see here, there's no real pie in the sky thing that anyone wants. Like, all these predictions of the one thing they want to see, do they not still dream about Star Citizen? That the machine, you're putting dreams still into it? From my prediction, the biggest thing I want to see is celebrities used as NPC quest or mission givers, where you physically meet celebrities down on the planet to give you missions, that the guilds are run by mission givers that are celebrities. There is nothing better than pushing this into the mainstream when the MMO has a raft of famous actors involved. I talk more about this on my prediction of how that could be possible and should be possible, and something I think is a dream that's gone in the machine, and the dream will be made 100%. I do indeed. Because how do you thrust Citizen Con into the news? How do you get YouTubers talking about it after just a 2-hour show? And I think that would be one hell of a marquee thing to have, would be that celebrity presence. And I think the big ticket item from the 2 hours will be the live playthrough, and if it does have celebrity mission givers, that will definitely get people excited from the YouTubers, reacts from the famous peeps like Asmongold. They will be blown away by the fact that they're doing this in an MMO, and especially when I expect this playthrough to be highly NPC built up by people walking around planets and all that good stuff. So yeah, for me, you know, getting less than 24 hours now. It's getting close. It's not less than 24 hours. It's 36 here, isn't it, on the clock here? But when this video goes out, it will be 24 hours. And on this very late stage, what have you found out from any of the videos that you've watched that has kind of surprised you? Because I haven't been surprised by anyone's predictions other than my own, because everyone's predictions are so lazy, just pulling stuff off the monthly, you know, monthly reports or picking stuff out from previous sitcoms. You need, the prediction is going, you have to go above and beyond that and think about what they're going to show and what they're going to get us excited about. And it'll be interesting to see post Citcon Direct what they did, because if they've played it safe, but you know, Jared didn't say at Citcon we're gonna, in the 2 hours, we're gonna show you what you're going to be getting in 2026. He just simply didn't say that, because that if it was engineering, and if it was crafting and base building, that would have been part of what we're getting. And so yeah, and all those things finished work. You know, if you look at the roadmap, they all finished their work in the last couple of months, and downstream teams have picked them up. So yeah, there we go, peeps. But for me, super excited. I can't wait. This is why I wanted to just come and do a little chat about Citcon Direct, and I'm so looking forward to it, peeps. The ship stuff that people are talking about, you know, haven't they said already there's 12 ships coming out this year still to come? That only gives us 3 months to do 12 ships, and we're probably going to learn about all 12 at Citcon. People are talking about all of the Vandal ships getting updated. Maybe, yeah, you can see that. And I think we'll get something from the Planet Tech people. I think they're still going to be working on the Planet Tech V5. I think what they're going to show us is what they're planning on doing this year with work, and it'll probably be updating Stanton planets with the V5 Starchitect stuff. Because without Starchitect, I don't think base building's coming in. I think it's a prerequisite of base building to get people to build on the massive planet that they're planning to make planets bigger with 1,000 points of interest. I really don't think that can come in. So for me, it's kind of being held back by that tech, I honestly believe. And stuff that they're working on to finish would, for me, specifically be tied into Squadron 42, because even though Squadron 42 is feature complete, I do believe they'll still bring things in over from the PU to make that game look better, including planetary weather conditions and the new flight model and stuff like that. the new inventory system. It could be using that also. There is a reason that these things are getting fast-tracked because they can just be put into Squadron. It's one of the reasons we're getting the Vulcan upgrade, because Squadron uses that, right? So we might see fast-track things coming in for Squadron that Squadron still needs. And I believe one of them could be ray tracing also. And that'd be great to see, especially the, what do we call it? You know, the light in the sky. My brain. It's very late here. Just take a drink. So yeah, ray tracing definitely as well, because that's going to be part of Squadron, isn't it? And all that good stuff. There is talk of the fact that the Squadron people are coming over, or they have come over. So I think what they're going to work on over the next 12 months could be even bigger than we expect, because the team is going to be so much bigger. We don't know how big PU to Squadron is in size, whether it's 500 to 500, but what we know is it's all going to be shipping. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be much bigger than what it has been on the PU. Some people are saying that it's 80% of the company is working on Squadron and only a handful is working on the PU, and I think that's complete BS. What's the Planet Tech people doing on Squadron? They're all on the PU. What's the NPC people doing? They've all finished on Squadron, I'm fairly sure. They've all moved across. There's tons of teams that have moved over from Squadron. Squadron really now is going on polishing pass, which means our assets just filling in planet locations, getting the lore on the planets. So, you know, they get the new theatre that a lot of YouTubers are saying is ridiculous that they spent this money on beautiful theatre. They don't understand what theatres are getting used in video games. So this is essentially get the writers in to sit down, and someone at the back is touring them on planetary locations or taking them through a level in Squadron 42. And the writers are going to assess the world that the person's walking around, because the writers always have the last pass on levels where they actually start to say, it would be nice if we had this here, why don't we put this here? And the writers can add an extra layer of polish at the end to make the world location of that level so much more immersive. So that will be happening. And, you know, so this is like a late night chat for me. And I think when it comes to Squadron, I think the next time we're going to hear something about this is going to be the Game Awards in December is when we're going to hear the first thing from it. And I think from the Game Awards, I expect that is when we'll get a date for Squadron 42. And then some people are saying there's going to be like a 9 or 6 month campaign. For me, 6 months is perfect. Make the game come out in December, then you've got the Summerfest to start your promotion, because you've got Summerfest, then you've got Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show, Game Awards. You've got all of them to jump on if you launch your game in December. So just for a marketing strategy, better late December. It's 2026, so it could be 26th of December. 26th of the 12, 26. How's that a prediction for you? It's going to be so good. But I think the marketing will definitely get Squadron into the mainstream. The question is getting into the PU in the mainstream. How's that going to happen? indeed. So if this 2 hour isn't amazing to watch, right? Because we need a buzz of the PU. We still need that buzz to continue up to Squadron. Unless, you know, they're planning on 2026 having another polishing year of the PU, bug fixes ongoing and all that stuff. But having said that, you know, I don't think it is going to go like that, because they've got the they've been working on a new live build for 9 months. They've not had any new graphical features come into Squadron. So when that comes in, or I believe they're only going to bring that in because they believe they've got a handle, a grip on the bug fixes and the playability. Plus, there's people worried about if Nyx was to come in, how would they handle that with servers and shards? And some people believe that, you know, because if everybody's rushing into the game to go to Nyx, how is the server mesh going to hold up? Are they going to need dynamic server meshing? That's just another reason to delay Nyx until that's in anyway. The dynamic server meshing, where they spool up and automatically add new servers to the location because it's getting busy, that's yet to come, isn't it? That's going to be next year. So yeah, I think that's got a bit of a delay on it. Because this is a perfect time to speculate, isn't it, about the future of Star Citizen, especially with Squadron in the background. But I think, for me, when I look at the future, when are the Squadron 42 teams going to jump back onto Squadron 42 Part 2? Or what some people are calling Squadron 43. How much teams are we going to lose on the PU? Or is Squadron 43 not even going to get made until Star Citizen 1.0 is out? Because if they really want to accelerate the PU to make that 2028 prediction, they're going to need the full CIG team on everything, right? So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So these bar citizens then, it says, because people are booking events, right? They're saying it's a 2-hour thingy. But if you look at what they're doing, they're booking the whole day, aren't they, these peeps? So have they been told it's going to be specifically longer? You know, are we going to get a Chris special? 4 hours here booked? I don't know. This one's booked for 3 hours. This one's going to be... I mean, all of them are great, aren't they, these events? I would definitely want to go to one of them, but I'm just sat here in Mexico. Yeah, so a lot of them are planning like a long event. I think the most exciting one is this one in Leicester for me, because it's at this National Space Centre and they have a giant screen, like a planetarium, that they're going to broadcast it on. That's going to be epic. So yeah, all the bar citizens, they're not like booking a bar for 2 hours just while this goes on. They are definitely going further. And it does say here that it's going to be broadcast live. So there is going to be something that is live at the show. It's not all pre-recorded, as people keep saying, where it's going to be like a densely packed show of what they've done. No, there is going to be broadcast live. I think it's going to be live gameplay on the build, the dev build, with the Vulkan installed. Stuff that's testing in the test PTU, is it? We need that Vulkan branch. If they really need people on the ePTU, they should just say, we are going to shut down the live servers and the PTU so everybody and their dog can get on the test PTU, because we want focused testing of that. The concept of having everybody playing a bit of everything and it's stretched too thin across it, just close stuff down. I'm pretty sure people will be okay with that. Yeah, the PTU and the live build are going down dark for a week, while we want everybody, because we want everybody on the PTU. Oh man. If they'd done that, maybe Vulkan patch would have come out and Mission 2.0 could have been in the game already. Ooh. Maybe. Although, having said that, I believe they've been patching the ePTU, haven't they? They have been updating it as bugs have been found and stuff like that. I just think it could be pushed harder. That just means when it comes to live build, it's going to have a little bit of a bumpy ride, I believe. Especially when you don't know if your system's going to run it. Right. That the whole point of the ePTU build is people should go in there and test their graphics settings on there and see if it at least runs. And if it crashes, then you can send a crash report to them on the on Spectrum, right? Issue cancel. But yeah, it's looking really good. I'll tell you though that again, it's going to be what they're working on, isn't it? So just to give us that mandate, then they can roll out the on the roadmap. They can, not that one. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so they're basically going to tell us what what you might call 4.4. I still think 4.4 is going to be the winter update, because for me, Nix is going to be 5.0. I think when a new system comes in, they're going to bump it to 5.zip. Because 4.4 is going to be Vulkan on the live. It's going to be that live thread where there's a lot of stuff coming down. And they've not put this as a 4.4 yet, so that should be coming out. I know they say this is quarter 3, quarter 4, but this is late, isn't it? Everybody knows this is going to be late. Dropships are already in. The Yomandi's already on the PTU. All this stuff's been released. An armor and some hair isn't really rocket science to get in, is it? Cortex already in. Like this is technically on PTU right now, and the Yomandi Cave is PTU. I don't know why that's tentative. Everyone's talking about that at the minute. The storyline, obviously that's secret, they're not telling us about that. The new Wicklow ships, that's just a mission, that's not rocket science either. Weapons, some of them are just like graphics updates, aren't they, on the cannons for the ship. This is already, for me, this is pretty much just going through testing before they put it out there. I do think there's going to be another patch. A 4.4 patch. It's gonna be good, it's gonna be good. It's basically going to be Vulkan, engineering, crafting, Hacking. Maybe it's quarter 1, 2026, 4.4. But interestingly, when they come to ships, will they do less ships next year? Is what I'm thinking. Because, you know, when they show ships off and they're going to be, these are the 12 ships they're working on next year, and they do like 12 silhouettes. Well, we know they're still going to be working on the Drake ships. We know they're still going to be working on ships that they've told us about in the past, because they're big, big ships. So, yeah, I think that might be less from the ship team. So the question is, looking at this, are they going to be working on Star Wars in the new year? I think they've worked on that this year. It's 4.4. Star Sim, I believe they've been working on this. Instant content, I think they will be working on that. Realistic mode is 4.4. Dynamic server meshing, that's going to be 5.0 when Nix comes out. Star audio could be 4.4, that's something. Global illumination, there we go, that's going to be in with Vulcan, that's going to be 4.4. Stark Tech, they're going to be working on this for next year. To Genesis, put Genesis across Stanton. And to make them big, of course, for bringing in base building. Dynamic weather, I know it's on here, but that's already in. I think the only thing it's missing, and it doesn't even say it here because rain, wind and thunder are already in, is sandstorms, and that's it, isn't it? Sandstorms. We know they're working on quantum travel already. It's basically from Squadron, that could be 4.4. Guilds they'll be working on in the new year, 100%. Taxes stuff, again, that's not much of a big thing, is it? Law and security, this is NPC, they'll be working on that next year. Reputation V2, this is of course coming in with the guilds. This will be new 2026. New player for Profession, this is going to be 2026. Death of a Spaceman, 2026. AI Blades, maybe 2027. Misfire and Word, this is from Squadron, 4.4. Fire Hazard, engineering, gameplay. If it's going through the EPTU, maybe it will go to 4.4.x. Charge Adread, this has already been tested, 4.4. Live support, this is engineering, so 4.4.x. Engineering gameplay 4.4.x. Solar Flare, this is coming in with 4.4.x because it needs to affect your ship's stuff. Vehicle radar and scanning rework, has this not been done for Squadron? 4.4. Radar and scanning 4.4 coming from Squadron. Control surfaces IFCS. This has already happened to many of the ships, but I believe it's 4.4.x. We won't see these 4.4s or 4.x's at CitizenCon is my guess. Hangar upgrades, I do believe we're going to see. They're going to be working it on in the new year because they want this to be a bit modular. Where I believe you're going to have to pay money or rent money to put stuff in there. For example, medical facility, crafting stations, and whatever they've got planned in there. Like a kitchen. I don't know. Weapon overheat, this is from Squadron. This is going to be 4.4. Player space stations, that's 2027 stuff. That's not next year. Crafting, I think it's going to be 4.4x because they've already worked on this. They're just making out the blueprints and stuff like that, but they can really give us it as a T0 where we can make ammo and guns. So we don't need to build armor yet, so just make it simple. I think people will be happy with that. A base building, they've already done 3 years on this, and it's on ice for the downstream teams to finish it. Looking at, for example, finishing off the art, sound effects, weathering effects, and damage states and things like that is where it's going on. Plus, it's waiting for Genesis. So, yeah, technically, they'll be working on next year if they do that. But I think this is the 5.0 branch. We're not going to get that until maybe Christmas next year. When I say that, it needs to, base building in Nyx, if it comes in for Squadron's release, that would be interesting because you're not just getting thrown into the PU, but you're getting PU with base building and 3 systems then. That'll be interesting. There's still part of me that thinks though that if there is a 5.0 branch with Nyx, why can't it be Nyx and Castra at the same time? Can they not have 2 different teams working on the 2 planet systems for that? Because if Squadron comes out and you've got 4 planet systems, 2 lawless, 2 lawful, that balances it out better. And it just depends if they can get storylines and all that in by then. Because for me, if Squadron's coming out in December, you want to make sure that PU's got the storyline in. Even if it's just the storyline for Stanton, where it's like eases new players in with a tutorial, that needs to be in. Like you can't not have the beginning of the storyline not in the PU when Squadron comes. Location repair, this is definitely 4.4. Player to player trading. The question about this, I think they are going to maybe talk about this, but they need to talk about, are they going to do a marketplace like Eve where you look at see what's being sold, or you can actually put an order for people to make stuff for you, or is it just going to be an auction house? Player orgs, I believe they've been working on that. It's basically UI stuff, isn't it? And programming, of course. But citizenship, this is going to come in with Squadron, I believe, because and it needs to come in with base building, doesn't it, as well, because you get land ownership with citizenship. So this, for me, that's coming out 2025. Planetary shield tech, this could come in 5.0, 5.0.x. Ownership of ships, this could definitely come in 5 as well. Lots could come in on the 5.0 branch, which I believe could be Q4 next year. Ooh, lots of core tech could be coming in next year. Quantum travel. We've already just looked at 29, haven't we? Utility tunnels, that's going to get worked on. Is that going to be 2025? We've got the guilds, that's going to be... Some of these will get 2025. I think if they want to bring something in, it'll be the Council and the Mercenary Guild. Is what I think the first 2 will be. The rest will get worked on over 2026 and 2027. Building interiors so that missions can go, more mission givers around that stuff. That'll be rolled out each year. They don't have to focus on too much, just like do one location, one planet side location, jump to the next year and stuff like that. Big Show definitely 4.0. 5.0. Castra should, hopefully it will come in the same one. I mean, look at Castra, 2 planets. Is it so hard to believe these two are coming out at the same time? And Terra then is going to be 2027 or 2028. Location stories, they've been working on that this year. There's obviously going to be new location stories that are needed for Nyx and Castra, so they'll probably be working on those. Main story, of course, needs to be done. Station Warfare is going to be 2028, isn't it? 2027, 2028. So yeah, if we look through that 1.0, a lot of it they're going to be working on this year for preparation for Squadron 42. To get the PU in a polished state with interesting features that people are going to go, ooh. And the big one, of course, is the storyline and location trackers. There's no way people are going to come in from a story-based game and not want a bit of theme park. The theme park of PU 1.0 is, of course, main storyline, location stories, and the guild mission systems, which is all about reputation. So all that needs to be in place for when Squadron comes out. So that's going to be the big focus on 2025. So there it is. It's been a bit of a ramble. This is basically a looking at everything that I've been watching, and nothing really has been itching what I've been after. And I'll just give you my 2 cents on what that has been. I just find it funny that when you come here, there's no big comlink advert that Citcon's like right round the corner. I've had to come into this week and it took a while to get here. So yeah, they're not really advertising it, are they? It's funny. Does ask a question. Maybe they'll do something when there's 24 hours to go or something like that. And maybe just a little bit too early here. And all that good stuff. And I do find it funny that if you say, "Oh, get some goodies from Citcon," that they've only got a digital pack. Like, no physical. You don't want to do physical goodies anymore, like you could have sold. It would have been interesting to get some more collectibles, right? But they just merchandise. Not even thought about doing merchandise for Citcon, have they? And of course, if you know anything about their merchandise, it's always sold out. So why don't they do something new? Because for me, that's one of the big reasons to go to Citcon, isn't it? To get your hand on this stuff, because it's just impossible to get outside of Citcon, because it always sells out on the shop. I don't know, do you have any merchandise from Star Citizen? I do have a green Squadron 42 hoodie that I still use at Christmas here in Los Mochis, Mexico, because it does get cold here. When you're used to 46 degrees and it goes down to 12 degrees, that's a 30-degree difference. You can definitely start to feel cold when it's like that, and that hoodie definitely is a beauty. So yeah, merchandise. Where's your winter stuff? That could have been sold. I don't think that bomber jacket is winter. And there is a hoodie. Star Citizen hoodie. So yeah, I did expect some merchandise. Maybe they'll announce some at the store, and hopefully they've got a lot more stock in, because it's ridiculous that it sells out so quickly. But having said that, we have a lot of hopes, don't we, on it? We do. Oh, Squadron. Got a lot of cast. This is a new one, I've not seen this one. Henry Cavill, look, is there. Look how detailed the suit looks from here. Even better than the Squadron YouTube playthrough. Because I recently did a video about who is Chris Roberts, and I talked about his thing for armor looking real and how many polys you get on PC compared to console, and that is insane amount of detail. If we get that in Squadron 42, it's going to be incredible. And why isn't it straight from Squadron? Because they're not doing CGI cutscenes, it's all in engine, isn't it? That looks incredible. There's the team. We've not told you, but it's going to be a 4-player co-op. I don't know if you played Mass Effect 3, but Mass Effect 3 had these like firesides where you were at a location and then NPCs would come down, you've got to defend the location. And it was those type locations that you had players that could come in and help you. Is that correct? Or was that part of the multiplayer outside of it? Anyway, I think the big focus of the PU in 2026 is going to be getting the PU ready for the Squadron 42 players, which are primarily campaign players that love campaign games, single player games, and they'll want that theme park if they get pushed into the PU. Dude, I am so excited for the theme park coming to the PU. Honestly, it's going to be epic. I mean, I love the whole sandbox, but having that theme park is the cherry on the cake. And my recent video, I did my WTF on Star Trucker, which is all about pick up and deliver transport missions. Man, is it getting me in the mood for doing them? I've just been doing everything really to kind of get into the space mode, get really into Citcon. I'm like this every year where I go into this mode of playing stuff that's just side adjacent to Star Citizen. Star Trucker was a perfect thing for me because I've not been really doing transport missions in the game. In fact, the only transport missions I've done in the game are boxes back in the day. Box missions when they used to be bugged. When you tried to put the box in the machine, it wouldn't do anything. Wouldn't even open. And since then, it's just combat and planetary tourists going down and stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah, let me know down below, what has it been like for you this week getting ready for Citcon? Have you been watching videos? Have you been playing any side adjacent video games? Have you been actually in the verse? Love to know what your preparations are if you're not going to a CitizenCon. For me, I'm going to be watching it at home, obviously. My son will be here. He's going to watch it with me. We're probably going to have popcorn, drinks, candies, and chocolates and all that stuff to kind of make an event. And then post the show, I'm going to jump into the info runners. They're going to have a show afterwards, and I think it's going to be joined by Grim, the guy from, I'm really bad with names, the ship something. You probably know what I'm talking about. I'm looking forward to their post show. I'll be tuning into that live. My YouTube handle is PCGamer Radio. So yeah, Info Runners, I think they're going to do the best post CitizenCon event. After that, I'll look for Grolo. He's doing an event as well. Maybe I'll go to Grolo first, because he might be taking calls on his show, and I'd love to give him my 2 cents on it on his show. But yeah, Grolo, Info Runners with Grim as a guest, and probably in the week after I'll look at Salty Mike's reaction, because Salty Mike's got a lot better. This last year he's kind of softened a bit. He's less salty, and he's more middle ground. He's moved into a better looking, better. I've been telling him for a few years to try and get less salty. Otherwise, he'll turn into gem reviews, which, in my opinion, should be just banned off YouTube. But he's anti-CIG videos. He keeps pumping it out. It's absolutely insane. Gem reviews. I used to keep doing that. Because in the USA, they call somebody that's got Trump syndrome, like Julie McDonnell, is that what her name is? She's moved to Ireland because she hates Donald Trump so much. But I think Gem Reviews has got Star Citizen saying it's got the same problem Star Citizen. Rosie O'Donnell has with Donald Trump. Star Citizen syndrome. And all they can do now is spew out hate and lies about the project, where he believes that Citcon is just a con to get money from you, and they're not going to show us anything new. They're gonna have nothing to show us, is what he believes. He's got a syndrome of Star Citizen, hasn't he? So peeps, there you go. I think this is the end of my little nighttime rant. I hope you've enjoyed this late night chat. I used to do regular late night chats on the Kickstarter board game scene, because I've got 90 Kickstarter board games in my office here now, on shelves all around me. And that's my other channel. It's 10 times larger than this channel. But I seem to do more content on my PC Gamer radio channel than my Kickstarter 102.4 radio channel. As Kickstarter has, for me, become way more risky with the tariffs Trump brought in, and the price of board games has just become too much, basically. If you're interested in board games, do check out my sister YouTube channel, which is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. Yeah, I think it's linked on the main banner page, it should be. Anyway, I'll be doing more PC Gamer radios. I might do my own reaction of Citcon in the week, though, and then I can at least give you my thoughts and what I think of other people's thoughts, what they thought about it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my Star Citizen coverage over this week or so. I like to just pump out content on Star Citizen when it comes up to Citcon. There's other YouTubers that follow the PU much better than I would be, because they're passionate about covering every little bump on the news cycle. So I just enjoy their content, and so yeah, there it is. But I do think I do have interesting commentary that you might want to hear around the Citcons that are coming up. So I hope that my commentary has been an interesting flavour in this run-up to Citcon. But just think, peeps, this time next year, we're going to have Squadron 42 coming out soon, and we're going to have Citcon 2026, which is going to be about 5.0, isn't it? That's what it's going to be about. Alright, peeps, what great times we are with gaming. We've got PAX Day coming out next week, and it's going to be on GameFound. I can't wait. If you're looking to play PAX Day, I'm probably going to join. I will be joining, that's more accurate, Grolo's guild or clan in PAX Day, because I am GameFound Ultimate, and I certainly will be checking that out because it looks really cool. And remember, don't play the PU and get annoyed. It's a test. You're still testing the game. The only thing I recommend you do on it is the EPTUs, because that's where the fun stuff is going to be had, where you actually going to feel like you're helping the game. Because for me, the best time to come in with your friends is 1.0, when everything's new and you don't know what's in the game, and it's going to be so much spectacular for you if you just wait. And there's a ton of games that you can play. And space, what's it called? Is it Spaceborne? Spaceborne 2 is still in early access. It's becoming its own little Squadron 42, that game. It's just taking so much longer. But it just sounds so ambitious. If you've never played Spaceborne, you can check out a video I did WTF on it. It's very popular, actually, because Spaceborne is what Star Citizen would have been if it had been finished in 4 years. Like, I know people keep saying, just get the game out. Well, play Spaceborne. It is what Star Citizen would have been. And when I say that, it would have had, limited landing on planets and space combat, yes, and trading, yes, and all that stuff. But I still think Spaceborne is a really good adjacent game to Star Citizen, as it does itch that. And if you're on Game Pass and you've never played the Mass Effect trilogy, you got the remake with all the DLCs. Best game I've ever played. Still my #1 best game ever. Mass Effect series. Fantastic story, great DLCs that you get in that. And Starfield, if you've never played Starfield, it's worth trying. I had fun in Starfield, and that's why GameFound is so fantastic, because you're getting these great games. And of course, coming out in 20 days now is, let me just go and have a look. Star Trucker. 81%. I'm gonna get you all. Even though I've completed the story, I'm going back in for them. The unique jobs still to get. At Worlds 2, that's what I'm talking about. Brilliant. And if you've never played Outer Worlds 1, this is a good time to play it, obviously. And on GameFound, true. But trust me, if you play this game on normal, it becomes like an arcade game. If you put up the difficulty, it becomes what I believe is the real game, where it is a dangerous world and you've got to strategically think about what's ahead of you. Because Starfield, even though I played on a high difficulty, I didn't actually feel like it became more dangerous, whereas this original game, the Outer Worlds, did it amazingly well, and I can't wait to put the difficulty up to play this as well. It's going to be fantastic. Again, it's kind of space adjacent. Beautiful locations. And yeah, can't wait for it. Where's the time? Where's the time? Where to go, peeps, Star Trucker? Check my video, what I did on it. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. There. Update it, please. There's already updates coming out. It's not even out, and I've already preloaded it. PAX Day is not on Game Pass yet, even though it's coming out next week. Alright peeps, I'm starting to ramble now. Just been talking about my side adjacent plans. And, but yeah, Citcon. Can't wait for it, peeps. I am so looking forward to it, and my son. I hope you have a fantastic time watching it. And do try to play it on YouTube because you get a 1080p better. Because last year Citcon on Twitch, it didn't really hold up, did it? And but there are rumours that they're going to be doing some Twitch drops if you do go to Twitch. So keep your eye on that. They might be giving you some free weapons or armour, skins or something like that. You know, whatever it could be. I do think it's going to be lame if they do that because it's better on YouTube live now, isn't it? As was proven last year across the 2 days of Citcon, YouTube was just a better bit stream and everything was brilliant. Alright peeps, well thank you so much for watching. This has been a late night chat about Citcon. On the final hours leading into this, going to be an incredible Saturday event. Just 2 hours plus is what I'm hoping. Hopefully it's going to keep us all buzzing and it's going to be cinematic enough for YouTubers, big celebrity YouTubers to react to it, to get people excited. And then next event is the Game Awards, where we might see Squadron 42 trailer and release date at, because that's going to get more eyes than a Citcon would. And really, do they need to market Squadron 42 to us PU players? I don't think so. So yeah, on that bombshell, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Please give a like to the video. Think about subscribing as well. And get down in the comments to anything I asked about in this video. If you want you to add anything to your comment, what snacks and drinks are you planning? It's going to be Pepsi. For me and my son will probably have Sprite. Candies and chocolate. I don't know, we'll go to the supermarket and get a pack of everything, I think. Gonna make it a spectacular event. Anyway, peeps. Wow, what a long rant. I hope you enjoyed it. Get down in the comments. Comment as you see fit. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This is PCGamer Radio. You take care, stay safe, and bye for now. And have a happy Citcon. Bye-bye. Well, thanks for watching. And if you remember, you can please subscribe and like the video. And don't remember, you can also hit the bell for notices on the channel. Yeah, we've also got a Twitter you can see on our banner, so check that out too. So take care and bye-bye.